efficient way for deportation. And one has to think that the Trump administration had a plan here, especially for the 250 some odd who went to El Salvador, that this is what they were going to do and they were going to move with efficiency. Now, our court stepped in and tried to stop that. I don't know what the timeline was specifically, but the judge is asking for that information. Would that change your mind if there was something in there that suggested, well, that was illegal?
Well, I mean, if there was something that showed it was illegal, but it's hard for me to see. Well, it may show that they were, moving very quickly and wanted to avoid judicial review, but that doesn't affect the question of whether or not it was legal or not.
Oh, okay, maybe the better question is, was it done by the book? Maybe that's a better way to phrase it.
Well, I think they were trying to do it by the book. You remember the judge first ordered that none of the individual defendants be moved. And that's what he has jurisdiction over. If he has jurisdiction, I question whether he actually has jurisdiction over the APA, which he said. But any kind of a burden order at the last minute say, I don't want those planes leaving. I understand that these are not Justice Department planes. These are military or other agency planes. So they've taken time to figure out what was going on.
I really appreciate your time. I'm Steve Pearson. I'm Ryan Shelby.
Never stop being gorgeous.
I'm sorry about last night. I was a little drunk. Yeah, when I drink too much, the little guy goes...
Oh, baby, I can show you a good time.
Let me make it up to you. I'll come over at 8. Okay. Yeah, I'm going after that axe tonight. Keep it real, bro.
Merriweather Security Consulting. How can I help? An air unit's on its way.
Please clear the LZ.
Where are we heading? Did you always want to be a psychopath, or did it develop slowly? It's a little bumpy back there. I'm hungover. Hold on tight. I don't want any more accidents. Man, San Andreas is so beautiful. The best thing about this job? They don't drug test. My dad wanted me to be a pilot. I wanted to cut hair at Bob Mullet. It's been good seeing you. We have reached the destination.
That's crazy as hell.
You cocksucker! Drop that weapon! Don't fuck with me!
Merriweather, for all your private security needs. How can I help? A helicopter has been dispatched.
Incoming.
Bitch, they ain't got no right. They here illegally.
What's the plan? Okay, we're on our way. Just look at the view. What a beautiful view. I really enjoy talking to you. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Here you go. Weirdly, this is not fun.
What the hell are you doing?
Maybe if we weren't so ugly. What a dick.
Perfect, perfect. A pleasure doing business with you.
Okay, so Margaret Copeland also started now. What can be done here? Jim George just came out, made the announcement. They're going to be holding hearings for these corrupt judges. One person who's on the list is Judge Bolton, who should be hauled in front of Congress to answer questions about what he is doing. Here's what George is planning. Frankly, there's a broader issue of all these judges' injunctions and then decisions like this. What he's trying to do now, that case is working. We're going to have hearings on all of that. Because particularly when you look at Judge Boasberg, it starts to look like this is getting totally political from this guy.
Yeah.
Particularly when you remember he's also the judge who was part of the whole Trump-Russia FISA court, granting those warrants that allowed the Comey FBI to spy on President Trump's campaign. So we're going to look at that issue as well. But hopefully we can get that bill passed next week on the House floor, move it to the Senate, hopefully get it to the president's desk.
What do you think you're going to find here? It seems to me like it's pretty black and white. You know, you go, you find the judge that's going to rule in your favor. It's been going on for 20 plus years.
years.
Yeah, why we want to limit it to just that jurisdiction, just the parties of the case, so it doesn't have nationwide implications. But yeah, there's the way the left operates. They go to these judges, they go after President Trump, as the speaker indicated, disproportionately more there than elsewhere. But with Judge Boasberg, think about this. I mean, I think the president, with his order on these gang members sending him back or sending him to El Salvador, I think constitutionally he's on solid ground. Article 2, Section 1, first sentence: executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. Statutorily, the Alien Enemies Act, predatory encouragement, that's certainly what this was.
Yeah.
Gang members coming here illegally doing terrible things. And then finally you got this judge saying this crazy decision: turn the plane around, bring the bad guys back to America. That makes no sense. So when you look at all that, coupled with this judge's history...
All right, we might be ready to move on this thing. If you want the work, you'll get a knock on your door any minute.
The document in front of the FISA court, it really starts to look like Judge Boasberg is operating purely political against the president. And that's what we want to have hearings on, this broad issue and some of what Judge Boasberg is doing. And so we're going to start those next week, and we think Senator Grassley's going to do the same.
Wow. Okay. So don't know if that means they're going to haul him in front of the committee or not, or send him a letter requesting his presence, or if they will just bring in other experts, which is probably more likely. They'll just bring in, Jonathan Turley, who's a nice and intelligent and appreciated person, but he's not a person who can do anything to the judge other than comment on what this judge is doing. So we'll see what happens. Jim Jordan will have some hearings. Gotta have hearings before you can impeach him. So at least that's something. So they're back there doing that. We got Tom Homan, meanwhile, saying, we're going to continue to use our alternative sources of power. All right, we're going to find them, and we're going to get rid of them. Here's Tom.
We're going to keep arresting TDA members. We're going to keep arresting MS-13 members. We're going to keep arresting public safety threats all this nation. Now, it comes to the Alien Enemies Act. If we're going to remove them through that act, we don't have to wait for litigation. We'll simply detain them. We're going to take them off the streets. And anybody who's removed through Title 8, we're removed through Title 8, which is an order of an immigration judge. But we're making for its order. But I think DOJ, I think eventually will win that order. Then it's game on. But until then, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Taking these public safety threats, especially TDA and MS-13 members off the street across this country. It's a 24/7 operation. We're going to continue to do that.
We got Tom Homan out there getting after it. And of course, Pam Bondi was also out over the weekend hitting back on Boasberg, saying Americans are safer today, and we're not going to let us efforts. Here was Pam Bondi, Attorney General.
As an out-of-control judge, a federal judge trying to control our entire foreign policy, and he cannot do it. He dropped us into court on a Saturday without any notice, and then he's continuing these hearings. He's trying to ask us about national security information, which he is absolutely not entitled to. We are appealing. We will be in court Monday again. We will win. We will prevail. There are 261 reasons why Americans are safer today, and that's because those people are now in an El Salvador prison, and we are going to follow the law, and we're going to protect Americans. There's a reason why Biden's approval rating was plummeting because of the border. There's a reason why the current Democrats' approval rating is at 29%. People want to be safe. This is President Trump's agenda to keep Americans safe. Maria, it's basic public safety. Get these people out of our country as fast as we can. They're not immigrants. They're illegal aliens who are committing the most violent crimes you can imagine on Americans. Murder, rapes, ask the parents of all of these young women who have been violently strangled, raped, and murdered. And we're going to continue to make America safe again because that's President Trump's agenda.
All right, so Pam Bondi is, I think, right that we do need to get a handle on the border and get people deported. These people were deported, they weren't charged, and so we're looking to see if charges do come at any point in time. But Pam Bondi is out there supporting the efforts and, of course, pushing back on Judge Boasberg, who deserves it massively. So we'll be...
Wasn't he put in prison?